Yo, 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 what's going on? It's David Palmer, the Leo King. It is Sunday night coming into Monday, the week of the solar eclipse, which is going to be happening in Pisces. And so I named this video, The Show Must Go On. One thing I learned about my time of living in Hollywood and being in reality television and being in the entertainment industry for a long time, the show must go on. If you didn't know a little bit about the drama that I've been going through this week, is I got really sick. And so it was not, and I had a vacation planned this week, but I also had work to do. But long story short, I still have to show up and do the videos. At least I got my rest. I was, there's something about the universe that will allow you to continue to make the show go on. And I want to talk about that today. And that's, I think, such an important thing to pay attention to right now, overall. Plus, it's been a while since I saw you guys. I think the last time I saw you guys was Monday before I left or something like that. Yeah, it was Monday. And I'm not going to be able to be here Monday. I'm going to take the day off so I can continue to get better. But I was already in here filming the horoscopes for the Leo King app, which we just got a new update on. And I have a lot to talk about this week with the solar eclipse coming and Mars in Aries, and how the craziness of Mars in Aries is going to happen this week during this eclipse week, and how this is definitely going to be a hot potato week. I think it's important for people to be prepared. Some people took my last video as like if I was fear-mongering about the preparation of this week. It's just a lot happening. A lot of people are going to go through a lot of change. A lot of people are going to go through a lot of facing the past and moving into the future. We're going to talk a little bit about that on this segment. But it's, don't be scared. I think some people get a little too, I'm not trying to fear-monger or nothing, I just want people to know that. And if people take it that way, I'm sorry. But there's a lot to really process right now. There's a lot to really think about when it comes to where our future is going. And I say that because we're in Pisces now. We're in and I'm going to show you guys here in the chart. Let me actually show you guys so you guys can see. I know a lot of people love it when I go into the chart. Boom, here we go. So what I've done, let's just take a look at everything that we got going on here. This is the chart for coming here on Monday. We've got Mars, right? 17 degrees, getting ready to square Pluto at 18. That's happening this week. And the sun is getting ready to conjunct the south node. That was not a nice circle. So we're in a very sensitive time. We're at the buildup of the eclipse, and Mars is about to go through some very deep intensity, squaring Pluto and conjuncting Uranus. And the reason why I say the show must go on, and there's actually a good way to understand this when I say the show must go on. The sun in Pisces is about backstage. It's all about clearing. It's all about, a deeper spiritual, much more, from behind the curtain aspect. But this Mars in Aries is looking forward. And I'm going to talk about this in my Uncut. I'm going to talk about it in my dailies on the app this week as we go through each day. But just in a general overview about this week. And I just want to give people the heads up. It's interesting, we are being so pushed into the future, yet at the same time having to look at the past. And we're kind of in this pulling us forward, yet still kind of got a lot of junk in the trunk. Or we're still towing a trailer. And that's what makes this week so weird. And I think what makes it the most interesting about when I say that the show must go on is because Mars in Aries forces us to go on. I was sick this week, and I have to do the videos for the app. And a lot of people told me this week, it's okay, take a week off. It's just like, and tell all those, tens of thousands of subscribers that pay to watch every day, I'm not here this week. You just can't do that. If it was CNN and, if I was Anderson Cooper, I could hire, or they could, if I had a backup to come here in the studio and do your horoscopes for you, it would be real nice. But I got to trust in it. But there's something about Mars and Aries that gets us through. And I want to show this image. It's always a good kind of Mars and Aries image. It's the warrior with the ram horns and the red and the warrior. And, there's this aspect that is going to be intensified this week with Pluto and Uranus in the square and bring up a lot of the last 5 years of the Pluto-Uranus square and how we've been forced to find courage and strength and push through very difficult and hard aspects. I mean, and then there's this kind of death card aspect that I like to bring up because of the fact that we're dealing with Pluto square and the intensity. So there's a lot of the intensity to pull us through things this week. There's a lot of the intensity just overall when it comes to the show must go on in life, even when we're in ultra sensitive times, even though we might feel like we need to go backwards, Pisces this week, we've got to continue to move forward. And there's a lot of that going down right now. There's a lot of that going down throughout this week. Mercury this week's going to leave Aquarius and come into Pisces at its fall position during this solar eclipse. So, things are going to switch really fast this week. There's going to be a lot of things that go on. This whole week is a very intense week. I would say that the most chill day is Monday. But from the 21st to March 4th, we are in a couple weeks of just full-blown intensity. We're getting ready for a Venus retrograde. We're getting ready for a lot. And I think that, it's a reminder to get your warrior ready, to get your strength ready, to get that there is some sort of will that comes out of nowhere that trumps everything and that can always bring out the best in us all. And I think that that's so important for us to pay attention to right now. It's so important. Now, the other thing that I want to bring up is it was so interesting because, I was sick and I really didn't do much. I just watched movies, caught up on some emails and stuff. But it was so interesting. This popped up on my Facebook today. I don't know if you're friends with me on Facebook. Well, I'm doing Facebook Live. So if you're watching this now, you are friends with me on Facebook or you follow me on Facebook. But what's interesting is I found this old blog of mine that's been around for 5 years. It was the 5-year anniversary of my blog. Most people don't know that before I did daily horoscopes every day, I did a blog. And on this blog, I talked about reaching your greatest potential, Pluto and Capricorn, and the whole meaning of 2012. I recommend to go read it. But I talk a lot about how 2012 and Pluto and Capricorn have a very distinct connection with destiny and so forth. Another big transit to talk about, which I'm thinking about talking about in my blog, is Saturn on the galactic center point. That's going to be something I'll do another video on this week. But, some people say it's 27 degrees. Some people say it's right now 26, but 27 if you go ahead, if you look at it at 30 degrees. I'm a believer that it's, from here to 27 degrees. I think where Saturn will be stationing next month in March is the galactic center as far as that goes in science. As far as astrologically, I believe that the galactic center point is 29-0 Capricorn, that in-between spot. That's me, though. I mean, you can look at it in multiple different ways. I'm much more of an ecliptic person. I'm much more of going by the astrology of the ecliptic. And to me, the galactic center point is where Jupiter and Saturn meet, and that is at the 0 point of Capricorn, the 29th degree of Sag. That spot, that's also a cardinal spot, the winter solstice spot. That's the galactic center. It's interesting that Saturn's approaching this space. I don't believe that it's going to be as intense as a lot of astrologers are bringing up until the end of this year, around December 23rd, I think, is when around there. That week, Christmas week, that's going to be very intense with Saturn there. But Capricorn is going to be highlighted a lot this week with Pluto here and Mars squaring it, of course. Redirecting stories, unsure with all this Neptune energy building up. Are we making the right decision? There's a lot. I talk about it in every daily horoscope. But I wanted to remind you all that the show always must go on. And I'm not talking about just me and my astrology videos, but in your own life. Trust me, you can find any excuse that you want in your life that is totally Pisces South Node, that you can't do it, that you shouldn't do it, that you're not going to be able to do it. But you know what? You're going to be able to do it. You've got the power of Mars behind you, and you've got to get behind that power of Mars. You're going to have to. This is going to be not an easy couple weeks if you do not know how to push through or go and take your strength. Now, of course, Pisces is all about surrender, but this is where the South Node is. It's like people are taking it to the extremes. People are taking bugging out from the universe to the extremes. People are taking all this stuff a little bit too far. And I think that this is something that has to be covered, has to be karmically fixed, per se. I always say that wherever the South Node is, it's like if you were at Disneyland, they're saying, this ride's broken. The Pisces energy is broken, and there's about to be a crap load of energy come into it. So it's almost like having a bunch of kids go on the Indiana Jones ride, even though the ride's broken, and they're stuck in the middle of the ride, and the confusion and the chaos that can sometimes bring. And it's ironic that the sign of Pisces, as well as it is the sign of chaos already. I was just doing, for the horoscopes for people on the sun sign on the Leo King app. Here is, of course, the solar eclipse coming. Here on the West Coast, I think it's interesting. This solar eclipse, on the 26th is happening at like 6:57 in the morning. And it's got, look at that. It's going to have literally right when the sun's rising, the solar eclipse is going to be going on with the Pisces rising, Neptune that is going to be one of the most beautiful solar eclipse sunrises ever. So I'm going to get up and just look at that sunrise. Look how much Pisces that is. That is just overwhelming. Literally the rising, Chiron, Neptune, the sun, the moon, South Node, Mercury. Now, excluding the rising, because that doesn't matter as we're looking into the solar eclipse in general for the world. But holy camole, 6 planets and energies in Pisces. That's what we are coming up to this week, folks. Mars and Uranus conjunct, square Pluto this week. Intensity to the max in the middle of all this. Venus 1 degree away from its stationary retrograde position at 13 degrees. Going to be kind of interesting. Also, that's the degree where we've had a lot of the cardinal cross aspects over the last 3 years since 2014. So there's a lot to look at. I'm not going to do the whole world right now because I just wanted to put this out there for people. I've been gone for a week, and I wanted people to kind of process things. Remember, Mercury's making some really good aspects coming into this week. The best aspect, of course, is let's get rid of all this crap here. And I think this is an important thing to look at. So Mercury's at 21. Mercury's going to sextile Uranus Monday, and Mercury's going to start to trine over to Jupiter. So, all these guys are getting along, and this is a really good aspect. And so I think that there's going to be a lot of you looking into the future in great ways, yet, oh man, this Pisces energy is kind of holding it all back a little bit. Plus Moon, Saturn. There's a lot of weird energy going on. It'll be interesting. I do a very deep and thorough analysis in the daily on the Leo King app, but the show must go on, right? And I learned a lot through this week. That purge happens. It was shitty because I was so excited. I did the live streaming here. Told you all I'll see you guys later. I haven't taken a vacation, and I can't even tell you when. To be very honest with you, I think the last vacation I took was July 4th of 2013. That was the last actual vacation I took that was not work related. And so I was all set. A lot. If you guys don't follow me on Facebook, I'm starting a Leo King race team with a Sea-Doo that I just bought. It's one of my old passions. This is one of my transits I'm going through in the 5th house, bringing back my inner child, bringing back what I love to do and race. And I can finally do that in my life. So I was all set, ready to go Tuesday, and I got sick. I had a really bad sore throat. Ran into a bunch of weird traffic, towing my Sea-Doos, everything. It just was not going well. And I just, I had lunch. I felt my body. I felt the energy, and I said, you know what? I can't go. I'm not going to be able to go. So it was hard. I had to cancel my hotel. I had to turn around. You have no idea how hard that is after you pack up and you turn around. I tried to push through even though I was sick. Anyways, I'm so glad I didn't go. I would have been really sick out there in the middle of the desert. It wouldn't have been fun. But the last, 6 days for me has been about purging and about, letting go and a lot of, deep energy. And it's just been, it's been a lot. But it's been a lot of good clarity for me in learning that this is a great time for us to let go of the past. This is a great time for us to purge a lot. And I think that there's something to learn there. There's a lot of people in the Leo King astrology group. Now, if you don't know what that is, I've had this astrology group for years now. We got 11,000 people. Actually, we're about to hit 12,000 people in there. Anyways, people write a lot of their stuff. So there were some interesting things that I had seen here in the... One person was frustrated at things disappearing lately. I thought that was funny. They said that yesterday at 4:56. Of course, with the sun now entering Pisces. Another person said, I think I like it better when times are supposed to be crazy, like eclipse times. During those, I seem to wake up all the mechanisms to be calm and face the storm. I love that. That was a great post because I believe that too. A dental treatment, I wouldn't recommend now, just personally. Too sensitive for me right now. Somebody said something that I wanted to bring up in here. Somebody, this girl, Crystal, I'm lost. What the F, universe, See, people post in here like, this is a cool Pisces picture. It's very Piscean. I love that picture. It's super Pisces energy. But there was one thing I saw. People post their charts, solar eclipse. See, here's people having sore throat, ear pain. I had that. Anyway, somebody asked. We have so many posts in here. It's crazy. Something about like people letting people go. Is letting people go part of this right now? And I would say yes, just for the sheer fact that Venus is getting ready to retro. We're coming into a heavy Pisces let go aspect. And, I think it's more like stories connected to people. This is Jupiter retrograde in Libra. There's a lot that, there's going to be a lot of karmic stories finally ending. And these could be going back 12 years to the last time Jupiter was in Libra. This could be going back also as well because of the last 12 years of the Chinese New Year, right? The last time we were in the year of the rooster. A lot of those things kind of coming to a close and end. You'll find patterns within patterns. But I think that, a lot of people are bringing up, like, I'm ready to leave these stories, ready to leave these situations, and being kind of forced into that. And I think that you're going to see a lot of that coming up. I think that you're going to see a lot of that over this week coming up. But, at the end of the day, we really don't know what is going to be the major event of this week. I mean, if any astrologer were to say that this week was just another normal week, I don't know if you would find one in the universe. When you look at this astrology, I mean, it's pretty incredible here. It's very incredible. I mean, when you look at this astrology, it is just wow factor. And so, we are getting ready for how this is going to be. And I don't want to make any predictions as far as what I think will happen in the world. We are dealing with Mars. We are dealing with Uranus. We are dealing with Pluto. Okay, so whenever you're dealing with this stuff, it can be, I hate to use the term. It could be, military stuff. Pluto and Mars definitely are very military. Multiple desire, but there is this Neptune. A lot of people are, okay, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be the last thing I say. All right, this is going to be the last thing I say. For real, about just this whole thing, especially with deception. Deception in the media and all that stuff is like lightweight stuff. Lightweight. Okay? Deception from the government, deception from the media, all that stuff's lightweight. Both sides are deceiving, okay? Both sides are deceiving each other. That's what's so funny. When I see this whole Trump thing and then I see the media thing, media's doing it, Trump's doing it, they're both doing it. And if you're looking at it from a third person, it's just like, okay. But the main issue of this Neptune energy is the fog and the deception of this whole reality that we're living in, more beyond politics, beyond presidential aspects, beyond media, is like, the whole collective unconsciousness. And even though I coined the collective consciousness, the collective unconscious is rapidly accelerating. When the collective conscious, you would think, would accelerate by distractions. Neptune is distractions. Pisces is distractions. The whole issue here with the whole, thing we're seeing with government and media fights and battles is a distraction from uncovering the truth of this universe. Okay, Neptune has to deal with the true deceiving, and this solar eclipse is going to highlight it. The big news is not what's going to happen in the news. The big news is what you are going to feel deep inside yourself that is off, that is wrong, that has to deal with this reality not being as truth-like as you want it to, not being as clear as you want it to, but more than that with the North Node in Virgo, this is a reality that we need to figure out. And I think that underneath, that's the main thing to pay attention to the most. Anyways, I got to go. I got to edit a bunch of these videos for the Leo King app. If you're not on the Leo King app, we just did bring out the new awesome version on iPhone. It's so awesome. Check it out. In Android, we added a new feature, the picture for both. I do a daily picture on Facebook here every day. You can spread it out. It's free. It's an awesome new thing I'm doing. Anyway, I got to go do that work. The show must go on. Tell that to yourself this week, or go look up some old YouTube video of The Show Must Go On. I think it'll help you guys out a lot. Thanks so much for all your support. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of the Leo King app, and I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.
The Leo King app is the world's first and leading video and notification astrology horoscope app for iPhone, Android, and computer. Get daily spiritual videos and addictingly accurate notifications alongside weekly sun sign horoscopes, tarot videos, and exciting new age entertainment videos by celebrity astrologer and TV personality David Palmer, the Leo King. Join today. You have nothing to lose with a 7-day free trial and wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.